Hey guys, welcome back. I hope everyone's having a good week. Today is my birthday. Um, it's been an okay day. Nothing has happened. I was actually feeling really sad last night and today. Um, I'm not going to get into the details of why because it's a lot to unpack. But something else that just happened, like just within the past hour, happened and I want to share with you guys because it's something that really bothers me. So basically, it's about just having complete faith and trust in God, is what it boils down to. So I have two cats, and I've had them for 8 years and 7 years. And I sold my house and we moved into my in law's house after my daughter was born a couple days later. And they said it was okay to bring the cats. They have a gate at the stairs. It's a 2-story house. The cats are upstairs with us, and the dogs are downstairs. And my cats are used to living with dogs. Same setup in my house. My mom had two dogs, and we had a dog gate. And the cats had one side of the house, and the dogs had the other side. And you know, they're used to it. But these dogs are a lot bigger. It's a German Shepherd and a Pit Bull mix. The German Shepherd doesn't really care. He'll bark at the cats once in a while, but if he gets the opportunity to go upstairs, he doesn't care about the cats. He would rather just be with us in bed or something. Um, Now, the Pit Bull mix, he has a thing for cats and he is always trying. If he gets the opportunity to come up, he comes up and he goes searching for them and he tries to attack them. Well, my boy cat will like defend himself now because he's just had it because it's happened quite a few times now. We've lived here 2.5 years and we didn't really have a problem at first. And then recently, someone in the house, I will not name who, has been very careless with the gate. And it's very frustrating because um, it's such a simple thing, you know? And like, these are my cats. I love my cats. I've had them for a very long time. And I don't want them to be like hurt or murdered by the dogs. The dog, the one dog. Anyways, so it's something I pray about a lot. And I ask God to keep my cats safe. And um, I'm still worried about it all the time though. Like, I don't like, it doesn't like occupy a lot of my like worry, but it is like in the back of my mind. I do think about it a lot when I get up in the morning. Sometimes I find myself checking the gate to make sure it's closed properly, checking on the cats. Where are they? Are they okay? Locking them, in the bedroom, just shutting the door so that I don't have to like worry about if the dog does get up there, he can't get to them because the door's closed. Um, and I found myself praying again right now, just asking God, like, please keep them safe. And I felt like He was kind of like letting me know, like, well, I will. And have I not already kept them safe so far? And it reminded me of everything I've been through in my life before I knew God, before I knew He was watching over me. Um, and I've prayed about this more too. And I've even asked God, like, well, if you weren't in my life and I didn't believe in you, why were you watching over me? And He actually told me that um, someone prayed over me when I was really, really young. And I think I know who it is. I feel like God told me who it was, but I'm not confident. Um, so, God looked out for me and kept me safe from like actual danger. And before God came into my life, before I believed in Him, my mom even would joke with me and she's like, she's like, things just happen to you. Like, it's just so strange. And my mom and I and my grandma, we all believed in well, they still believe, but I don't anymore. You know, like spirits and mediums and guardian angels and you know, like that whole world. Um, I mean, I guess guardian angels are could be real, like, right? Because God uses his angels to watch over us and stuff. Um, anyways, I always just thought, like, I mean, I would have like weird things happen, like, almost near, like, fatal, horrible car accidents that I just miraculously last second didn't happen or missed. I've been stalked by men, like some of them like legit scared me, and then some of them I was just kind of like, oh, they're creepy, you know, like. And then I've almost been kidnapped before, um, at least 2 times that I can think of, like legit, like a van like pulled over and tried to, you know, take me, type of kidnapping. And then I've almost been sexually assaulted, and like just things would happen like right at the last second to keep me safe that were always just kind of like weird, you know. I've put myself in dangerous situations, you know, like when I was partying a lot in my early 20s. I remember one time I was at the club and I met these random people, and my friends that I was with left me there with these random people, and then we get out and they're like going to leave, and they were going to leave me there by myself. Right as they were walking away, my friend pulls up to come back and get me. You know, just things like that, like, have been happening my whole entire life. I've never gone trying to put myself in danger. It's just kind of like happened. And I've always just had weird things happen that have just always kept me safe from like real danger. And as soon as God came into my life and I started getting to know him, I was praying one time and God helped me to realize, like, it was kind of like he was keeping me safe from just behind the scenes without letting me know it was him. Kind of like how, like, when my daughter was learning to walk, I would kind of keep her safe from like hitting herself or falling without her really realizing it, you know, like moving things out of the way, putting my hand out of the way so she doesn't hit the table or, you know, things like that. It's kind of like what God was doing. And now that I have him in my life and I'm getting to know him, I find myself still worried. God has never let me go hungry or homeless, or get into like real evil danger. Um, I, you know, my cats have never been harmed. Um, I've never really like have had anything that has made me think, oh, okay, I don't trust God. But yet I'm still like, I'll be praying about my cats. Like, I'm like, God, please keep them safe, keep them safe. And I'm like, there's a part of me that's still like, it's almost like I'm begging him, you know, like, and it's because I'm still like, there's a part of me that's worried that he's not going to keep them safe. And then I do the same thing with like money and us moving out of here and getting into our own home. You know, even though God's already told me that that's going to happen when he's, you know, when it's his timing, not ours. And the financial breakthrough is also going to happen in his time, not ours. And but yet we still have everything we need. We're still okay. My husband was laid off 2 times last year and we are still fine. You know, like, God made it work and we are fine. And I find myself still just anxious and worried. And I I pray often asking God to help me just let go and have faith and trust in him. To like just let go of the wheel, let him drive, and let me just, you know, I don't know, be more in the moment, not worry. And yet I still just like find myself not not having that faith and trust. Like, I'm still anxious, I'm still worried, I still think about these things. But then there's a part of me deep down that's like not, that does have faith and trust. But it's like my spirit and my flesh are like fighting so hard. And some days, you know, my spirit's stronger, and some days my flesh is stronger. And I don't know how to like let go. Like, I don't know how to like God's already shown me, like, you know, like my cats haven't gotten hurt at all. So it's like, why would I think that like one of these times, if the dog gets up there, why do I think that, oh, okay, maybe God's not going to protect them that time and they're going to get hurt or something, you know? Like, I'm so scared that the dog's going to like hurt him, my cats, like really bad, or accidentally kill them or something, you know? Like, and I think part of it too is I know it's like the enemy is like trying to like get me to doubt God. And so I think part of it is that they're like flooding my mind with these things to make me feel anxious and worried and like not trusting of God. But you know, they're good. They're good at pointing out things that are like today, my birthday. Like, they were like filling my head with all this crap, and I was believing it, and it was eating away at me. And then in the evening, something happened which revealed to me that what they were saying was not true, and it kind of snapped me out of it. And I was like, why did I even think that? And I realized like it was them like filling me with these thoughts. It wasn't me. And they were just feeding it and convincing me, you know, like of these things. I'm not going to say what the specific things are, but you know, like, I don't know how to like, I don't know how to deal with this sometimes. Like, I don't know how to and they're so good at like being discreet about it. There's even been times where like I'll think God said something to me, and then I'll be like unsure, because it's like kind of like how when the devil in like just changed the wording just a little bit to get Eve to take the apple or the fruit from the tree, you know? Like, he was kind of like using God's words, but like just twisted it just enough to where you're like unsure, you know? You're like, oh wait, hold on, you know? Like, and I feel like they do that a lot to me, is they're like almost like mimicking, trying to like confuse me and mimic God and something he might say or do, you know? And then also trying to like plant seeds of doubt like in God. I don't know how to like push past that. It's so exhausting. I feel exhausted all the time because I'm just like, I feel like I have this like mental battle going on constantly. And I'm like, where's the pause button? My goodness. You know, I'm a big ball of like anxiety and stress and worry all the time. Like, it's literally just like, it's like that's my normal at this point lately. I don't know, guys. Any tips or recommendations are welcome because I don't know what to do. Happy birthday to me. Let's get into today's chapters because I am just kind of over today.
When he had said this, he went on ahead, going up to Jerusalem. And it came to pass, when he drew near to Bethphage and Bethany, at the mountain called Olivet, that he sent 2 of his disciples, saying, Go into the village opposite you, where as you enter, you will find a colt tied, on which no one has ever sat. Loose it, and bring it here. And if anyone asks you, Why are you loosing it? Thus you shall say to him, Because the Lord has need of it. So those who were sent went their way, and found it just as he had said to them. But as they were loosing the colt, the owners of it said to them, Why are you loosing the colt? And they said, The Lord has need of him. Then they brought him to Jesus, and they threw their own clothes on the colt, and they set Jesus on him. And as he went, many spread their clothes on the road. Then, as he was now drawing near the descent of the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of the disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for all the mighty works they had seen, saying, Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And some of the Pharisees called to him from the crowd, Teacher, rebuke your disciples. But he answered and said to them, I tell you that if these should keep silent, the stones would immediately cry out. Now as he drew near, he saw the city and wept over it, saying, If you had known, even you, especially in this your day, the things that make for your peace, but now they are hidden from your eyes. For days will come upon you when your enemies will build an embankment around you, surround you and close you in on every side, and level you and your children within you to the ground. And they will not leave in you one stone upon another, because you did not know the time of your visitation. Then he went into the temple and began to drive out those who bought and sold in it, saying to them, It is written, My house is a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves. And he was teaching daily in the temple. But the chief priests, the scribes, and the leaders of the people sought to destroy him, and were unable to do anything, for all the people were very attentive to hear him. Now it happened on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, that the chief priests and the scribes, together with the elders, confronted him and spoke to him, saying, Tell us, by what authority are you doing these things? Or who is he who gave you this authority? But he answered and said to them, I also will ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or from men? And they reasoned among themselves, saying, If we say from heaven, he will say, Why then did you not believe him? But if we say from men, all the people will stone us, for they are persuaded that John was a prophet. So they answered that they did not know where it was from. And Jesus said to them, Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. Then he began to tell the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, leased it to vine dressers, and went into a far country for a long time. Now at vintage time, he sent a servant to the vine dressers, that they might give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the vine dressers beat him and sent him away empty-handed. Again, he sent another servant, and they beat him also, treated him shamefully, and sent him away empty-handed. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him also, and cast him out. Then the owner of the vineyard said, "What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. Probably they will respect him when they see him." But when the vine dressers saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, "This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours." So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, what will the owner of the vineyard do to them? He will come and destroy those vine dressers and give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, "Certainly not." Then he looked at them and said, "What then is this that is written? The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. Whoever falls on that stone will be broken, but on whomever it falls, it will grind him to powder." And the chief priests and the scribes that very hour sought to lay hands on him, but they feared the people, for they knew he had spoken this parable against them. So they watched him and sent spies who pretended to be righteous, that they might seize on his words, in order to deliver him to the power and the authority of the governor. Then they asked him, saying, "Teacher, we know that you say and teach rightly, and you do not show personal favoritism, but teach the way of God in truth. Is it lawful for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" But he perceived their craftiness and said to them, "Why do you test me? Show me a denarius. Whose image and inscription does it have?" They answered and said, "Caesar's." And he said to them, "Render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's." But they could not catch him in his words in the presence of the people, and they marveled at his answer and kept silent. Then some of the Sadducees, who deny that there is a resurrection, came to him and asked him, saying, "Teacher, Moses wrote to us that if a man's brother dies, having a wife, and he dies without children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers, and the first took a wife and died without children, and the second took her as wife, and he died childless. Then the third took her, and in like manner the 7 also, and they left no children, and died. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife does she become? For all 7 had her as wife." Jesus answered and said to them, "The sons of this age marry and are given in marriage, but those who are counted worthy to attain that age and the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage, nor can they die any more, for they are equal to the angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. But even Moses showed in the burning bush passage that the dead are raised, when he called the Lord the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. For he is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for all live to him." Then some of the scribes answered and said, "Teacher, you have spoken well." But after that, they dared not question him any more. And he said to them, "How can they say that the Christ is the son of David? Now David himself said in the book of Psalms, 'The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand, till I make your enemies your footstool.' Therefore David calls him Lord. How is he then his son?" Then, in the hearing of all the people, he said to his disciples, "Beware of the scribes, who desire to go around in long robes, love greetings in the marketplaces, the best seats in the synagogues, and the best places at feasts, who devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. These will receive greater condemnation." And he looked up and saw the rich putting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also a certain poor widow putting in 2 mites. So he said, "Truly I say to you, that this poor widow has put in more than all. For all these out of their abundance have put in offerings for God, but she, out of her poverty, put in all the livelihood that she had." Then as some spoke of the temple, how it was adorned with beautiful stones and donations, he said, "These things which you see, the days will come in which not one stone shall be left upon another that shall not be thrown down." So they asked him, saying, "Teacher, but when will these things be? And what sign will there be when these things are about to take place?" And he said, "Take heed that you not be deceived, for many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and 'The time has drawn near.' Therefore do not go after them. But when you hear of wars and commotions, do not be terrified, for these things must come to pass first, but the end will not come immediately."
There we have it. I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about today's chapters because a lot of it is repeated, from I think like the last book or the book before. I don't remember. Trying to think. No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. They're good chapters though. I enjoy them. I'm excited for the next book to see what that one's about, what different information it has. I'm like excited, but also not excited to read Revelation. And it's just because, there's a lot going on right now, and I feel like people are like referencing Revelation a lot, and there's a sense of comfort that comes with that because then you're like, oh, okay, like we knew this was coming, it's okay, God's got us. But then there's also like I've heard some people say reading Revelation can be a little like apocalyptic, so I'm like kind of just like nervous. But that's the one book I've been kind of like curious about a lot, so we'll see. But yeah, if anyone could help me out with what I talked about in the beginning, because I do not want to live this way. I don't want to live fearful or worried or anxious or stressed, And there was a time, I feel like last year, where I didn't feel this way. I felt peaceful and calm, and I don't know what's going on right now that's like making it so hard for me to get back to that. And it's frustrating, because I would love to get back to that. So I don't know. Anyways, well, have a great night or morning or day whenever you watch this, and I will see you guys in 2 days for some more chapters. Bye.